Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Beerful Hot Podcast.
I'm one of your hosts, Walker, and the beautiful voice you heard before me
is Victor, me.
Huzzah.
Stop looking at me like that. So I gotta make this quick because the wife wants to try some of her alcohol, which I've been drinking because she doesn't drink alcohol because she's not alcohol.
But now she's a working woman, so she gets her beer at the end of the day.
So in other words, let me smell it first. Doesn't smell too bad.
There we go.
I've had that one. It's actually pretty good.
It's another one that kind of tastes a lot like grapefruit. So yeah, I got a special beer today. It's the Great Lakes Brewery. It's got an octopus with a bunch of punching gloves on. It's pretty cool looking.
Is it good? You keep drinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Then get me another one.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Jeez.
It is good.
And what is the brand you're drinking here?
Oh, same brand. Same brand from last time.
LeBeau's.
This one just has a tractor on it.
Oh, okay.
It reminds me of Bud Light.
That's Bud Light, okay.
But it has like a better taste.
Ah, okay.
Like the aftertaste is different. But like when you first drink it.
Yep, that's Bud Light for you.
That's Bud Light.
Aftertaste is a little bit stronger.
Reminds me of the Superstore scene where it's the IPA brewer or whatever. She's just pouring Bud Light into these special bottles and filling them marked up.
And he, the guy in the wheelchair points it out.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was the guy's wheelchair name?
Garrett.
Garrett, yeah. Fuck, that show was amazing.
Absolutely perfect for, just funny jokes the entire time, and it's unserious. It captures the vibe of, like, a small retail store, or, not a small store, but...
It captures the vibe of what a Walmart is.
Oh, 100%. Every single scene, even, the little cutaways, transitions, where it's just, here's a customer doing the most absurd thing ever. It's a regular day for them.
Yeah, and, it's basically... Superstore, if you haven't watched it, watch it because it's on I think Netflix still, or no?
It's on Netflix, it's on Prime, it's also on Disney. It's like The Office.
It's on Disney?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Or it might not be on Disney, but it's on at least Prime and Netflix. It's one of those ones like The Office where just for some reason everybody has the streaming rights.
Yeah, and it's like The Office too. It's just one of those shows where you could sit down and binge.
I got a little bit of a conspiracy about that. They want you to conform and be okay with these shows. This is the type of content they want you to watch to stay underprivileged. That's something I could go into more, but it's more just off the top of my head. They want these shows easily accessible because it keeps the I don't want to say less intelligent population, but the one that's more consumerist busy.
So stoners.
Yeah, exactly. I watch those shows religiously while high, so yes.
But one cool thing... Hi, Tori! Tori's waving right now.
Hi.
One cool thing about Disney now is they have Hulu on it.
Yes.
And guess what comes with Hulu?
Percy Jackson is on Disney now.
But I already watched through all of that. Dragon Ball Super!
And in another show... Digimon! And I've been watching that with Ollie, because Ollie's been watching it. Holy shit,
Digimon is very kid-friendly. Pokemon, I want to say Digimon was more kid-friendly than
Digimon is so underrated.
Yes.
And I hate it. It's not as big as Pokemon or Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
It deserves to come back.
I had a DS game, it was around the same time a lot of the DS games for Pokemon were coming out and stuff, but it was a Digimon game. And I loved the Digimon game more than I liked any of the other Pokemon games. It just played better. I don't know.
When Digimon the movie came out.
Oh.
I have it on VHS. Ooh. That's how fucking old it is. And I can't find it anywhere. But when that movie came out, they have it was on Fox Kids, the website.
Oh my gosh. So you could watch the movie online?
No. They had Digimon games on it. Here,
okay.
let's do this.
They probably still exist, an outdated site, but it still exists.
There it is.
Fox Kids.
I remember it being Fox Kids, and it was a fucking website. It was a goddamn website where I used to play Digimon.
It might be a different site now, because I know Teletoon Kids used to exist, or there was a YTV Kids. A lot of them have probably upgraded. I haven't seen any of these TV cable channels in a long time.
Yeah, so I looked it up and you can't find anything. Oh, kids, Digimon Wikipedia.
Not the fandom.
Dude, this is awesome. Holy shit. That is actually pretty... Yep, see?
There you go. You've got your weekend plans there.
Legit, Fox...
Kids is now a defunct site, so it doesn't exist anymore.
But oh my god, it was such a cool website to go to as a kid because it had like Digimon, it had a whole bunch of shit.
It was like peak like 2000s era, like when the internet was good. It's just all the games were so innocent, they were so straightforward, and this is a game that you aren't paying for, but at the same time has tons of content.
Yeah, and this is just all stuff. It's like this on. I'm so upset that there's no Fox Kids anymore, but I can understand why.
Yeah, that's it. Just at a certain point, the domain doesn't get enough popularity. There's no reason to keep it going.
No,
right?
and like that's like anything, right? I guarantee, like the only ones I know that are still around is I don't even know if it's still around still.
Club
I know
Penguin. Club Penguin definitely still exists.
Most fun games. That's a website.
Yep.
Yep. It's still there. Fucking still there.
I haven't checked it in a while, but it is still a site. Addictinggames.com was another one that I always went to as a kid.
I know Underground Games. If I can fucking spell correct. But Underground is also another game website where it had like
just free online flash games, right?
Yeah, but then it had a secret spot where you kind of had to search for it.
Okay.
About adult content.
And find them 18 plus games.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's like videos and shit of like Teen Titans.
Oh.
You've never seen that shit?
I mean, I've definitely seen that shit. Not on like the kids friendly video game websites.
Underground Games or something.
Okay.
I forget what it's the same people who did Castle Crashers.
Oh, really?
Underground, yeah.
Oh, so
it's not the same creators, but it's from the same website.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
From the same website.
The ones that originally published Castle Crashers.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of other games that they came out. It was like Battle Block Theater and shit.
Okay.
Which is fucking hilarious.
I have to check out that game studio more. I did like Castle Crashers a lot.
Man, I love fucking Battle Block Theater.
Battle Block Theater. Nope, can't say I've heard of it.
Oh my god, you know what? Here we go. Battle shit.
I remember trying to do a bunch of the gun games and Roblox as a kid, and like those were always
here we go.
Sketchy as fuck.
Battle Block Theater.
Oh, okay. I recognize the art style, yeah.
It's the same creators of fucking, I think, Castle Crashers, but holy shit. I had it for the 360.
Yeah.
That's how fucking old this game is.
Damn.
2013.
Oh, okay. It's essentially a brawling game then, yeah?
Yeah, brawling game. No, it's not. It's basically, it's like little scenes you gotta do, and like you can die and shit.
Okay.
There's like a stupid storyline and all that.
It's got good ratings, though. Yeah.
10 out of 10 Steam. But yeah, it's fucking Vicky hates it because she can't find it anymore. She used to play the fuck out of that game.
I mean, if it's on Steam, you can get it you can probably run it on this computer.
Yeah, but this computer is only for podcasting only.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't even watch porn on this laptop.
Yeah, that's respect, man. You keeping that digital hardware secure.
Yeah. A man that has like a phone, iPad, TV, PlayStation, and a laptop.
You got to keep one of them clean.
Yeah, I only use it for my phone.
There you go. Done.
My phone's only got the viruses on it. I don't give a fuck. I get a new phone every 2 years. Fuck. But, other words.
Yes, today we've got a rather heated and topical topic.
I gotta say, this topic is very, very, very new.
Yes.
And a buddy at work actually said this would be a good topic to talk about because it's fairly recent.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say it, I don't have too much information, but I got a little. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I'm a type of guy that doesn't give a fuck.
That's it. It's a very nuanced thing. There's a lot of politics that are going on, that have been going on for years, that have really influenced Trump's decision. So what we're talking about today is Trump in the United States effectively kidnapping and removing the president of Venezuela.
There's no such thing as kidnapping.
Yes.
They removed him secretly.
They removed him from power, and it wasn't very secret. So the whole incident happened on January 3rd. I'm not sure all the specific timeline, unless you have that information.
I don't have that information. I was doing my research today. I will say that I've been busy. Let's just say
no worries. But yeah, it happened on January 3rd, and I didn't know about it until the next morning because I saw posts about how there were explosions and detonations going off in Venezuela. But when you listen to reports or what people on the ground from Venezuela were saying, it was like a swarm of black helicopters dotting out the sky. They came in, essentially swarmed the capital, like bombed like key military points of, we'll say, I want to say Venezuela's military, but right now it's more of a dictatorship. And it was Maduro's military, so all of his installments, a lot of like loyalist stuff. Essentially what they did is they swarmed in, bombed, destroyed these key military assets of Venezuela, and at the same time kidnapped the president all in one night. It was a very effective mission from what I don't know all the statistics of like how many people died or whatever, but from what I know, there was no American casualties, which is something Trump has been rather
hush-hush
with, but like pretty happy about. So a very successful American operation, but there's a lot of controversy around it for the obvious reasons.
The one thing I don't understand is why would they kidnap this guy? This guy's president, but he was also a former bus driver.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And he was a union leader.
Exactly.
Why is this guy so bad?
When you look at his history, he's one of the individuals that grew up in Venezuela. He was a bus driver. He was someone who was on the lower end of income and a part of the Venezuelan culture. This is a person who worked his way into the political scene and from poverty to making good policy. That is what we hope to see from him, but it's not quite what happened. Yes.
Yeah, so you have some guy that was living like an average citizen, and then turns around and says, you know what? I'm going to have a dream. And that dream is to infiltrate the inside and fix it. But of course, whenever fucking someone does that, they get corrupted.
Oh yeah, it's far too easy for politicians
That's
to get
why
corrupted.
we couldn't do that, because we would see how much stupid shit that we can get away with. And we were like, fuck, we need to keep that really secret. Like, fuck, but we came in here to do that shit, but
it doesn't really matter. It's fine.
The money talks. That's the thing.
Oh, and that's it. There's clear precedent that nobody's really going to do anything to these people that are in power.
You want a sip?
No, I was looking at it because Vicky got a bunch of them.
Well, come on, get a sip. Have a sip.
No.
Have a sip.
Come on, do it. It's fine.
Peer pressure.
Don't do that. I'm cool.
Oh, Tori, speaking of which, come here. We're going to ask you a quick question, because when Walker came over here like an hour ago, he said that your school was talking about Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Yeah, we learned a little bit about it.
Okay, talk about it.
So, yeah, what have you been told?
What lies have you been told?
That Trump kidnapped the person that was doing it and got him arrested for alleged drug trafficking.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that's on my notes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that America tried to use military force, but Canada didn't.
Why would Canada do stuff like that?
I was going to say, yeah.
Because Canada just tried to help, but the U.S. No, it's because we don't have a great military.
Yeah, no,
Not
Canada
anymore.
has a horribly disproportionate military to the U.S.
Because the U.S. has a good military.
Yeah.
Because as soon as, for example,
there's been a lot of deals.
when they get rid of the planes for that,
you're talking about. Okay, so funny case. What you're talking about is the Avro Arrow. So the Canadians built. Back in 1960, they built blueprints and they built a plane faster than the current jets that the U.S. have.
What?
Yes.
What?
And
Us Canadians?
Being
badass once again, but
they did it.
Destroyed?
Yeah, so then America was like, no, nobody's allowed to have a faster jet than us. Like, they told us to scrap the Avro Arrow, and that was the name of this plane. And all the plans, everything, the Canada was like, yep, we'll do it. You pay us $3 trillion, and the States paid us $3 trillion, big air quotes, because it's just one of the other things that sits in national debt for no real reason.
Oh, man.
Canada destroyed all of our planes, all of our records for this super fast
Oh, that's
plane.
like, oh, yeah, we have the technology to go to the moon, but that got destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So it's definitely not a secret that U.S. has kind of said, no, we'll protect you, Canada. Keep your military resources down low. And this whole operation is, like, if Canada is supporting it all, it's more just in the political side
Yeah,
of things.
it's political side. It's not nothing new.
Yeah, but to me, Trump is being a pain from what I learned in Victoria Cross.
Speak up louder!
Pretty sure we're more reluctant to do stuff.
Yeah.
With the U.S. Meaning, I feel like they're going to be more hesitant to actually try and protect Canada.
Yep. No, it's a rather reasonable point. It's very real.
We'll just
as my friends call America now, Trumpland.
We'll just storm the Capitol and burn down the White House again like we did in 1920.
What?
It'll be fine.
1912, right? No, 1812.
1812, that is it, yep. I mean...
But because if they get to the point where we need help with military stuff, we're going to have to go to the U.S. and say, hey, we need your help, like now, and we'll do something for you.
That won't do anything.
No matter how you look at it, though, like the actions taken by Trump and the U.S. military has been rather drastic. They were violating international law, and to actually physically go in and bomb, and then not only kidnap the president, but arrest him, take him back to your country.
Pretty sure he also kidnapped the president's wife with him.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
okay.
he took his wife.
So, speaking of that...
So it's an act of... I'll just finish the point real quick. Sorry. It is an act of war. It's violating international treaty. It's why there's so much controversy around it, because the U.S. is just stepping in and doing what they want to in a completely foreign nation.
Well, you know what? With Trump doing that just proves that the United Nations doesn't do jack shit.
Well, okay, so a big part of what's going on with the United Nations and NATO specifically is Venezuela isn't a part of NATO. So NATO isn't necessarily going to act on the fact that, like, the U.S. is jumping into their territory, but they're also not happy with the U.S. because they're supposed to be a peacekeeping state. And just doing this, breaking international law, is an act of war, and now nobody really knows how to treat the U.S. because... While there's a lot of good reasons, a lot of good that comes out of getting Maduro out of power, it's like cutting off a hydra's head. You've taken out the head of the power, but it doesn't change the fact that there's lackeys all over the place. And they did a whole lot to bomb that military to kind of minimize response. But what they're setting up right now is another situation like what happened in the Middle East, where they go in, they bomb, they set up assets to try and like control the Taliban, control terrorist groups, for a different reason, mind you, but it's still occupying and destabilizing a government that was not working. It's hard to justify it when the action itself was illegal and an act of war,
yes,
right?
But I think what's going on with this is that Trump's sending NATO a message. Because he doesn't want to be part of NATO anymore.
No, he doesn't, because NATO's been screwing Canada and the States out of cash for the past God knows how many years. 2012 is when the fucking Ukraine-Russia war essentially started. And we've been funding Ukraine this entire time. We've been funding both sides.
We shouldn't. We fucking shouldn't. No, I'm sorry to say, but I'm going to get... You know what? I know that we try not...
You're good to go. Unless you want to stay, you can listen. But.
Yeah, you want to do us ramble.
Yeah.
But... Tora's going to hear me be very political right now.
Yeah.
She's never seen this side of me before.
Okay.
I get really agitated when like people want to like, oh, we should support Israel or we should support fucking
they have enough money to
Ukraine.
Do themselves, they can do it themselves.
You know what? As a country, we need to worry about our own.
Yep.
Because
helping others doesn't do much.
Exactly.
We're just going to become like a doormat.
Exactly. There's an expression.
As we already do kind of have an immigration problem, we're becoming worse to help work with.
Yeah.
What?
Because overpopulation is also a problem, and in some places underpopulation.
You know what? We need to have our own episode on children that are under the age of 15 with their own problems about the political age. We need to do that.
Smart.
Well, that's it. No, Gen Z can recognize what's going on, and they recognize it's bad. Like, what they're learning in history is actually being repeated in real life. It sucks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But so going back to my point, so getting political, because I always try to do not go political on the podcast. It's so hard when we talk about stuff like this. It's the fact that, like, our government wants to worry about fucking other places instead of our own. We have homeless. We have food shelters that cannot withstand fucking people coming to the food shelters because we have no food.
Yep. Oh, a lot of food shelters in Canada are closing. That's another kind of recent event that's been going on right now. Yep.
And this is... I'm just going to call this episode fucking recent events.
Yep.
Because we're going to go on everything. because fucking Mark Carney, the fucking stupid dumbass that he is, I'm so surprised that we haven't got fucking canceled yet.
Yeah.
That he is. Oh, like there's also a whole bunch of memes going on. Like, oh, like here, let's fund billions of dollars to Ukraine. Oh, let's fund $1 billion to Canada. And there's nothing on the table.
Oh, that's it. No, when we talk about this, both the U.S. and the Canada's spending over the last few years, all this money, all this stuff that should be going towards Canadians, is being sent en masse across overseas to fund these wars. And it's not like it's funding one side to help it out, but this funding is going both directions. It's going to background parties that are making these weapons. It's money that is disappearing and is in no way benefiting U.S. or Canadians. It's foreign policy at its worst. And it's, like you said, it's driven our countries into poverty to the point where we are now much more in debt than we ever were before, and we have a more destabilized economy. It's just worse because we decided to fund wars.
Yeah, and I the one thing that history's always taught us, that history will repeat itself all the fucking time.
Yep.
But thing is, what I've seen for the last, like, ever since Trump has became into power, and when he was in power beginning, when he did his first term, he does what he says.
Yep.
He is a man that has a short fuse, and he says, I'm gonna fucking press that button, and you're gonna fucking bow down.
Oh yeah, no, Trump is going scorched earth right now. Like, he's even said some stuff about coming back for a third term, even though it's not allowed in U.S. politics.
Not yet.
It's not allowed
yet.
Look
at Putin.
But
look at Putin.
Yep. No, he might do the same thing, and it's kind of getting to the point where it's a possibility. Where Trump is, yes, he's doing a lot of good for the U.S., but it's very aggressive to the point where it's like, at this point, it is comparable to Hitler, where it's like Trump is going over and helping Venezuela, but it's also U.S. walking into foreign territory, similar to how Germany just walked into Poland and said, no, this is ours. We're going to occupy this. We'll do this. Again, very different scenarios, very different, like, intricate details, but it's still that setup of, no, we're just going to walk into this country. We're just going to do it.
So, like, but that's the thing, is if hypothetically, if let's say NATO turns around and says, oh, we all gotta go after the States. There's a bunch of people in Canada that'll legit tell, like, the United States, and probably, if their superiors say, like, oh, we gotta do this, is fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
Because, for one, the States is our neighbor. And if it wasn't for the States, we wouldn't have this good trade that we used to have.
Yeah. We're no longer a free trade nation with the U.S. because, again, Trump decided to go big on tariffs.
But the reason why Trump went big on tariffs is because he wants to get out of that national debt that the states are in to whatever fucking place it's supposed to be going to, this money pit, which doesn't probably fucking exist.
Well, a large part of why Trump is trying to bring business back to the U.S. is so that, A, production is happening in the U.S., so there's more U.S. jobs. It makes the U.S. more self-sustainable if they can get their resources within their own country, which means if the businesses stay in their own country, they're also being taxed in their own country. That's going to the American government instead of outsourcing to, like, China or India, where the child labor is cheaper, and all that money that's being made over there, that's being taxed in a third world country, so it's a lot less taxes and a lot less that's actually coming to America. Like, he has a good idea as a businessman. It's just, in order to make it happen in the 4 years he has, he's got to be aggressive with it.
Yeah, he's being aggressive right now because with this, it's so hard to say.
Venezuela.
So with them going in there and doing that shit, it's like sending a message.
Yep. Oh, it's sending a huge message, and now Trump is also talking about wanting Greenland for, again, very specific reasons that are much more related to the military and having strategic position over NATO and Russia.
Oh, that's like Russia having, like, nuclear bombs in Cuba.
Yeah, that is exactly it. And so with Trump wanting to claim territory and now having done this in Venezuela and saying he's looking at Greenland, he's setting his sights on Greenland, NATO is starting to get pissed off at him because Greenland is actually a protected nation.
So the one thing that I will say is that what I have gathered through all this information is that Venezuela.
It's not hard to say, my guy.
I just have a speech impediment. It's really hard for me.
You have a speech impediment?
Yes, I have a speech impediment.
I didn't know that.
Oh, now you do.
Okay,
Venezuela. Venezuela.
There you go.
I gotta say with the accent.
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Yeah, you know what? It's closer than
So, in other words, I just gotta be racist about it. Venezuela. But
you can just say it because you have a speech impediment.
I know. I can just say that plays.
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm kind of retarded. We can't say that now because being retarded. A whole bunch of Down syndrome people said that to Trump. You can't say retarded.
No, I've got my art pass. I'm allowed to say the re word.
Yeah, I'm allowed to say retarded because it's just a fun word to say, so I don't really get it.
Exactly.
But going back,
yes, you're allowed to say it. Tori, you have a little bit of autism. You're allowed to say retard.
Yeah, I do.
There you go. See?
So you're allowed to say it because your dad's a retard.
You qualify.
So, but thing is, one thing that Venezuela have is oil and natural minerals.
Yep, lots of natural minerals because it's in South America. It is in a geotropical zone where it sees a lot of sunlight. It sees a lot of natural rainfall. No winter season. It's like a wet and dry season type area. Lots of mountains, so like you're going to get a lot of natural minerals forming in the earth there. And it's a pretty big country. Not bigger than America, not bigger than Canada, obviously.
It's probably only helping because they want the oil, because I'm pretty sure that's also why the Russia and Ukraine war started over oil, right?
Yeah, so
no.
I'm going to pull out a Trump quote here.
Okay,
so
before I say that,
okay,
Tori, so since you brought that up, it's about oil, right? No. It's about that Biden, Joe Biden, had...
I can get some free oil.
He had business deals in Ukraine that would, if Russia actually full-on attacked and took Ukraine out, it would destroy his economy.
Yeah.
It would destroy his assets.
Oh, because Joe Biden made a lot of deals with, I forget his name, but the president of...
The actor.
Oh, the actor?
Yeah, the actor. Like, Trump's calling him the actor.
Oh, okay.
He legit straight up called him
Yeah, the Ukraine president. The guy who was literally just, everybody keep funneling money into the Ukraine. This is fine.
Yeah. Oh, man, we need soldiers. We need all this help. Oh, yeah, but I'm just going to go over here and be in my Benz.
Yeah.
So, before, I'm going to say your...
Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff here. So do your thing first.
So, I was talking to Walker about this. There's a show called Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Oh, and there's a whole speech that he gives.
Yes, there's a whole speech. I have it here. I'm gonna play I want to play the 3 minutes. So, are you okay?
No, listen to the full 3 minutes. It is a good speech, and it covers a lot of what is relevant here.
Yes. So, but this came out because if you look on Amazon, it was season 2.
Yeah, Jack Ryan started airing, I think, in 2018, maybe?
Yes. So Jack Ryan came out in 2019.
Okay.
Like the second season.
Yep.
This is one scene from Jack Ryan.
The question will always be, with what lens are you watching the news? Let's say you just got home from work, you get through the door, you turn on the TV, and that's what you see. What would you assume is the most major threat on the world stage? Anybody, just call it out. You don't have to raise your hand.
Definitely Russia.
Definitely Russia. That's confident. I like it. Who says Russia? Anybody agree with her? Hands? Okay. Right. Who else? China. Stop yelling at me, but China.
Did you notice that they did 2 big powers, China and Russia?
Well, they talked about the big 2 superpowers, yeah.
And if you do hear a little slight noise, it's Ollie running around the island. So
he's burning some energy out.
Burning some energy out around the Beerful Hat studio.
That's a good answer. Anybody? Who else? China?
North Korea?
North Korea. Any North Korea takers? And Venezuela? Anybody? No? Oh, yeah. One guy in the back. A little worried about Venezuela. Everybody's cool with Venezuela? No threat? Okay. Let me ask you this. Which one of these places can claim to have the largest oil deposit on the planet? More than Saudi? More than Iran? Wow.
He has
okay, what about things like...
So, he's doing a lecture in a university hall, and he puts up some statistics on the board, and it's by far Venezuela.
Yes.
Venezuela has a lot of natural fossil fuel reserves.
So
which is fact.
Yes, he's at a college.
Gold. More than all the mines in Africa combined? The fact is that Venezuela is arguably the single greatest resource of oil and minerals on the planet. So, why is this country in the midst of one of the greatest humanitarian crises in modern history? Let's meet President Nicolas Reyes.
So Nicolas Reyes is a character in the show.
Yes, it is not the real president of Venezuela, but so I have a bunch of information that I'll go over at some point soon, but it mirrors Hugo Chavez, who is essentially the one that drove Venezuela to economic success, then swiftly into economic poverty.
So I'm going to press play again, because this is 3 minutes long. 3 minutes. But we're only in a minute 20.
To power on a wave of nationalist pride, in a mere 6 years, this guy has crippled the national economy by half. He has raised the poverty rate by almost 400%. Luckily for the rest of us, he's up for re-election. So, who's running against him? This is Gloria Benalde. Now, Gloria...
Speaking of
again,
which,
a false name, but
false name, but there is also a female going to run against him.
Yeah. Okay. So, oh god. Yeah. We'll just finish the clip. We'll go over all this.
Okay. Let's do it.
Is a history professor turned activist. She's running against him on a social justice platform and on the strength of, in my humble opinion, just not being an asshole. Analyst predictions, as of today, have the chances of Venezuela's total economic collapse at 87%. On the news, they'll call it a crisis. But on the world stage, they'll call it a failed state. You've never heard that term. Other examples of a failed state in recent history are Yemen, Iraq, and Syria. And if that's not bad enough news for you, well, Venezuela is also the only one of these places within 30-minute range from the U.S. of next-gen nuclear missiles.
Hello there, I am Victor from the Beer Floor Hat Podcast. Are you having troubles of picking out gifts that you want something to mean something? But I have a thing for you. I partner up with somebody at work, and his website and Instagram page is called It's Right Here. He does vinyl design, wood jewelry, which is pretty cool, and keepsakes. Keepsakes like Christmas stuff, stocking stuffers, birthday things, whatever you think. He's done a few things for me, and they are amazing. You guys need to go check him out. I'll send a description below. But let him know that the Beer Floor Hat Podcast sent you there. So in other words, let him know to stay frosty.
And you will not hear about any of this on the news, because the biggest players on the world stage do not want you to. To them, unstable governments are nothing more than the greatest of opportunities. So, Russia, China, can never be the most major threat until countries like Venezuela leave the door open to our very own backyard.
So, while this is based in fiction, this is all very real what he's saying. So, Jack Ryan is a subsidiary of Tom Clancy, the writer. Like, he did all the writing for these series, and he does...
he's also Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy is a great writer who does crazy amounts of research. Like, everybody hears about writers doing research and stuff. Tom Clancy does crazy amounts, and he's never been an actual military person.
But he's also behind Rainbow Six.
Yes. Rainbow Six Siege, like all the original Rainbows games, like Tom Clancy has a bunch of books too. Like, he's been arrested by the FBI multiple times because he has information he shouldn't have based on ship layouts, like plane layouts. He's gotten in trouble for multiple versions of his books where he's actively described like military proceedings, like actual like procedures.
Dude, we gotta do an episode on
it. You can get in trouble for having stuff you're not supposed to have, but in the U.S. you're allowed to carry a gun and shoot up schools.
No.
A different point. I like your energy, Tori, but
yes. What you have just said, yes. But
because Tom Clancy outed essentially American information or American intel that's supposed to be secret or like specific to the military, they arrested him multiple times and said, how do you have this information? He's like, based on public information here, it just makes sense you would do it like this. And they're like, okay,
then
yeah.
Better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He does his research, and he does a very good job. I love playing his Rainbow Six because it's just so well thought of and so well done. It's crazy. I honestly, if they make another Rainbow Six that you're able to do anything that like he says in his books and his movies and all that shit, I'd rather play that than fucking Call of Duty.
There's a lot more care that goes into Rainbow Six in terms of gunplay, in terms of environment, in terms of just actually dealing with what it is like to be in a real life scenario with terrorists and whatnot. And his Jack Ryan series, all of that political stuff is well researched, and it makes sense. Like we were saying before, Venezuela is on a fault line, so it's going to have a lot of natural like minerals like gold, lithium, and like rare earth metals that are going to come up because simple geography, the mantle, the big bubbly thing that's inside the earth pushes up along fault lines and gets all that extra special rock into the earth.
Oh yeah.
And because Venezuela has been a third world nation for years, it has not explored or set up a lot of these mines to take advantage of these resources, essentially.
So what Jack Ryan basically said is they're open for takeover, and that's basically what Trump just did.
So yeah, going to Trump's point here. So I looked at a little bit of Trump's statements because Trump has been rather, we'll say, proud of his actions and saying this is what it's supposed to be doing. So
proud of questionable stuff.
Right now the plan from the U.S. is to have U.S. occupation get boots on the ground for U.S. soldiers because America's goal right now is controlling and running the country until a safe, proper, and judicious transition steps into place. So it's in America's best interest to set up a proper government and help transition Venezuela from like a dictatorship. But he's being very clear there's gonna be U.S. occupation, and he fully intends to continue doing this. Another quote that comes from him specifically is that we can't take the chance that someone else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have Venezuela's interests in mind.
Yeah.
So, yes, Venezuela was at the point where it was basically a failed state, which I'll go into that a little bit if we want to listen to that or if we have time for it. But Venezuela has been a failed state for almost 20 years. 20 years is a bit generous, but it's been failing for a long time. And Trump getting rid of this dictator isn't going to cause more problems in the sense that the country's already fucked. There needs to be proper leadership stepping in place to make it better instead of making it worse. And to that end, I understand exactly what Jack Ryan's point was and Trump's point is we need to get in and control these resources before somebody else like Russia or China swoops in, takes over, and says, okay, now we have a nice close missile launch site on America. Even if they have short-range nuclear interballistic missiles, they have the range for it. It's why Cuba was such a hot spot in the Cuban Missile Crisis during the Cold War.
That's why, like, JFK was so hot about Cuba. Because he knew if Russians were going there putting nuclear tests, they could attack at any point.
Yep. So I'll also say this right now. Maduro also had a lot of ties with some rather Marxist-heavy groups. So he's... I forget the spectrum, but he's very much a fascist in terms of he is running the state. It is a military-run state. It's a totalitarianistic state that matches what Cuba's got going on right now. Cuba's got the most successful version of communism and socialism, but there's a lot of ties between Cuba and Venezuela. There's a lot of ties other socialist Marxist states.
What's communism?
So,
that's a whole nother rant.
Quick thing from communism. So,
communism is everybody's treated the same.
Oh,
Everybody gets
I also
the
learned
same.
about that.
So, yes.
Cool.
You're working at, let's say you're working at Food Land. Okay? You're getting paid
as much as a doctor.
No, you're getting paid $17.50. Okay?
That is your wage. That is the government-issued communist wage. Everybody is the same under the government.
So the person giving you knee surgery is getting $17.50.
I wouldn't trust them with my knee.
But they go to school for that.
They go to
that's
school. They have training. They have very specialized knowledge, yet they're still being paid the same amount as you for stocking shelves. So where communism fails is it doesn't recognize the skill, it doesn't recognize the individual. Instead, it makes everything gray and says everybody is the same, everybody gets the same living conditions.
Yes.
Which ultimately fails every time because the ones in power, the ones in control of said resources will always abuse it. And this is a problem that is a problem in Cuba. is a problem in Venezuela, was a problem in Russia, was a problem in China when every time they implemented it, because like with capitalist society, the wealth disparity is so much more focused on the higher end. All the rich people have all the wealth. Meanwhile, the 99% are sitting in poverty.
Yep.
And they're told that the poverty they have is what is fair. And that's why communism fails.
The only time I saw communism not fail was when you watched The Last of Us. Because when Joel pointed out, oh, you guys are just communists. And Tommy says, no, we're not. And his wife turned around and said, yeah, we're basically communists.
Mm-hmm. So communism works on a small scale, but when you're trying to govern a nation, it falls apart way too fast.
Because some people need different living conditions. And if you get paid the same, like, for example, if things are still staying the same price, and, for example, medication is pretty expensive because
it takes
medication.
It's a process to refine chemicals and get what you need for medication.
And if everybody's getting paid the same, it's going to be harder for that. And which means since also people need different living conditions, different accommodations, it wouldn't work because it's either like, for example, if you're trying to get medication that could help, for example, if you're going like, cancer, and they're also putting you on something to see if that also helps while doing the other stuff, it'll be harder to get, and you'll probably it'll be probably more likely to end up dying than actually getting better because you're not getting the stuff you need.
Exactly, and because there's ways that socialism works. Socialism has worked in Canada for a long time until, we'll say, the Liberals take over. But it's when you take socialism too far and say everybody needs to get the same treatment, everybody needs to be babied, there's always going to be a larger amount of the population that say, oh, we're getting babied, I'm going to take advantage of everything.
That's how people end up dying.
And then there becomes a whole disparity in the resources being allotted in socialist systems, and then the people in charge just say, you know what, the people aren't going to use this right, we're going to take it all, and the people can just get their scraps.
Yep.
And to be very quick with the background of Venezuela, I'm going to skip over a lot, so if there's Venezuelans listening or those who have a bit more knowledge on the intricacies of Venezuelan politics over the past 20 years, let me know where I'm wrong. But in 1999, there was a very big boom in Venezuela. It was starting to see, coming from third world to a bit more of a second world, first world country, it's getting a lot more support, seeing more trade through the South Americas and America now that the Cold War is over. And the biggest thing is what made Venezuela so appealing right now is their oil reserves. They started digging into them. They realized they had this, and there was an economic boom. And around 1999 is when Hugo Chavez became presidente of Venezuela. Venezuela. And during this time, like, there was a lot of prosperous. Venezuela was doing well for itself because it was selling a lot of oil. The economy was flush with money. And while Hugo Chavez was in power, there was a large merger during the 2000s of multiple political parties to form the United Socialist Party of Venezuela. Things were going great until about 2007, 2008, because all this extra money was coming in. Venezuelans were seeing a lot of it coming back in the form of socialist programs, socialist reform, and helping people, Medicaid, just, oh, honey, baby, here's $2,000, feel better about yourself kind of deal. A lot of socialist programs. And this was working. It was helping the people until 2008 when they started seeing deficits in the budget. They realized, oh, shit, this is not a maintainable system. During this time, Hugo Chavez stayed president for three terms, which I don't know Venezuelan law, but 3 terms seems, I think, is excessive. Like, they're going over what they need to do. Then his death comes around 2013, and when I said like 2008 is kind of their peak, after that they started seeing economic problems. They were starting going into budget deficits as more and more countries didn't need their oil, so they were selling it for less and less. What was becoming their economic boom, they didn't invest in. They didn't invest in Venezuela. They instead started investing in social programs to make themselves look better.
Yeah.
So over the next 5 years, up until 2013, Hugo Chavez starts to go, oh my goodness, everything's collapsing. It's the people. The people are the problem. So what starts to happen is the government starts issuing propaganda programs, saying like, no, everything's fine. You guys are overreacting. The government is doing what it needs to. This is fine. Everything's fine. And despite that, wealth in the country started disappearing, dropping more and more, socialist programs were starting to put the overall economy into more and more deficit because they're spending more money than they have. The people weren't benefiting from it, on top of the fact that it wasn't actually making things happen. So Hugo Chavez dies in late 2013, and after that there's another election where our current president here, Nicolas Maduro, comes into power. And it's like, okay, after all of Hugo Chavez's stuff, this next guy stepping up for, again, the same party, the Socialist Party of Venezuela, steps up and says, no, I'm going to make things better. And over the next 10 years, you can ask any Venezuelan, he did not dig them out of poverty, but instead fucking buried them so much worse in it. He's essentially doing what the liberals started doing over the past few years, where there's propaganda campaigns, there's suppression of the media and the press, where what's actually happening isn't allowed out into the public. And what they're getting is propaganda saying, oh, Venezuela's great, we are amazing, oh yes, we've got lots of resources, very happy country. And in all of this, there's suppression of the press, but he was changing the tax code and electoral laws to protect his own party. And there was more and more rioting. There was a huge surge of rioting in 2014 because Hugo Chavez put the country into like the absolute shitter. But this new guy who said he was going to do great, got elected in, was doing even worse, continuing what Hugo Chavez did to make the country in a worse off spot. And more so, he started doing even more deficit spending, kind of like Mark Carney has been doing after all of Trudeau's spending.
Yeah.
Which meant they started printing more money, which created more inflation because they're putting the country into debt and then printing more money to try and up taxes so that they can make more money. But in doing so, they're causing inflation, devaluing their own dollar. Like they were selling less, importing less. They destroyed what industry was in Venezuela.
So, with that being said, with devaluing their dollar, Venezuela vacation information, top vacation flight plus hotel for one person is $615.
And that's Canadian dollars.
That's Canadian dollars.
So if you're in the States, that's probably close to about $500.
Family vacation, $653. Romantic vacation, $508.
Well, and that's it. So after all these years of inflation...
Hold on.
Okay, keep going.
I got one more.
All right.
Luxury vacation, $5.
Like $5 extra on the other costs?
No, just $5.
Huh.
It just says $5.
Okay.
I don't think that's how they're going to get more money.
I was going to say, but from this data at this point, it's when Maduro took over in 2013, there's been rioting, there's been marches, there's been every sort of expression of we do not like this government, we want power to change in this country. It doesn't do enough because they can do as many of their peaceful protests, they can do as many riots and marches, but because Hugo Chavez was suppressing people, he was essentially, or not Hugo Chavez, this was Maduro at this point, he was suppressing people, he was violating people's human rights. There's something that they call extrajudicial killings that were occurring, which is just a fancy way of saying Maduro's government was killing people that were non-compliant to his government policies.
Oh, so not taking alters really well.
And over the past 10 years, specifically, there's been 7 million refugees, people fleeing the country of Venezuela because they literally cannot make a living. They were suffering. They were fleeing from economic reform that was crushing them. Otherwise, they would have died in their own country. Which, you know what? I think part of Trump's motivations in helping Venezuela, getting rid of this dictator, is because America and Canada see the most fucking immigration out of anywhere. And we're seeing a lot of Venezuelans, both good and bad. And I think...
Knowing us Canadians, we're going to invite more bad than good.
And to that point, like... We've discussed a little bit already this podcast that Trump is very anti-immigration and there's a lot of immigration problems. And if Trump is turning around and recognizing, okay, we've had close to 7 million immigrants that are Venezuelan, they're fleeing this country that is on absolute economic collapse, he wants to step in. He wants to nip immigration in the butt by instead taking this head of state that is making people want to flee Venezuela. So I think that's a big part of why he's getting involved there.
So with you saying that, that makes sense. He wants people to live in their country and feel safe like the country. Because he wants America to be great again and be Americans.
Yep.
He's probably thinking, like, you know what? If I'm able to step in and help Venezuela out, they can be partners.
Yep.
And you know what? With them being partners, that means Trump can make deals with the new leaders of Venezuela.
And that's it. What I mentioned before about how he's getting U.S. boots on the ground. He's trying to essentially stabilize the system before handing power back over to the people, because right now there's a lot of lackeys of Maduro that are driving around on motorcycles. They're essentially thugs driving through the streets trying to enforce his law even though he's out of the country.
Yeah.
And the actual military posts have been stripped out. So there's still influence from Maduro in the country right now. But taking him out, taking out these military powers, it's like, okay, you're genuinely handing the power over to the people in what they need at this point. Because, like I said, over the past 20 years, they've been protesting. They've been doing their riots. They've been doing their stuff. And the Maduro government has been killing people, has been getting rid of people that are criticizing the government. They are genuinely... here's another big one. So he was voted out of power in 2015, but then he turned around as president and said, no, I'm enacting military law. I'm enacting... there was another thing specifically that he enacted, but essentially what he did was he turned around and changed the law in Venezuela to override what is called the Supreme Tribunal, which dictates and governs the president and the decisions of the government in power. He stripped the power away from the people, stripped the power away from the government, and essentially changed the laws to make his dictatorship real.
Yeah.
And that's why he's been able to serve up to 3 terms. He's been in power for 12 years now that he's been snatched out. He is through and through a dictator who has fucked the nation of Venezuela, and Venezuelans have done their best to protest properly.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you want to protest properly. Like,
the government, they'll ignore you. They'll shut you down. They'll fucking lock you out and say, oops, you said peaceful protest. We said goodbye.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And look what happened in Canada a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And some protesting, and look, we got to put in national law, and legit, Trudeau got guilty with using the Emergency Act illegally.
Mm-hmm.
And look, what happened? He didn't get any time. He did not get put out of power. He just got a slap on the wrist.
He's on his nice little honeymoon dates with fucking Katy Perry in California. He's hiding away after destroying our country.
Oh man, did you ever see what's Katy Perry's ex-husband?
Oh, I don't know his name.
Not Orlando Bloom, the other one, the British guy.
Oh, there's 2?
Yeah.
Okay, well they both dodged a bullet, unfortunately.
Well, like he says, like, I will not say anything bad about Katy Perry. He loves his ex-in-laws.
Yep, you know what? That's
and his ex-in-laws were actually at Turning Point America event for him. And he was saying, the one thing I will say about Justin Trudeau is he's got nice hair.
And that's it.
He won't say anything else because he tries not to be mean to people.
Yep.
He just says he's got nice hair.
Oh, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all, kind of deal.
Exactly.
Another very Christian value.
If you make something up, just make sure you're good at lying. Like I said, not a good person.
Zoomer Christianity right there.
Yet again, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing
there's zero accountability from these politicians that are driving countries into the ground, and they're not getting punished for it.
But thing is, whenever it comes to Trump, they're always saying, oh, he's a fascist. Mm-hmm. He's this. He's that. Okay. Talk to him. Ask him, okay, why are you doing this? He there's a lot of things he will not say because he's got to keep it secret. Mm-hmm. But he'll probably say, it's because I see a problem and I want to fix it.
Yep. And that's it. He's not waiting for fucking legislation
He's not waiting for permission.
He's done.
He's the type of person right now where I'd rather ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I guess I'll pose this question as we're coming into a bit of our closing hours of the podcast. Victor, do you think it was the right decision? Do you think going in and getting rid of this dictator is going to be more of a problem for the country? What do you foresee happening?
So what I foresee happening it's a really good question, is that with Trump basically invading and taking this basically douchebag out with the information I've learned from today, because I'm not really caught up with everything.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you too much, but it's stupid those that are trying to protest Trump's actions right now, saying that no, they took away a good leader, they destroyed Venezuela. Venezuela's been right fucked for generations.
So what happened was
probably not. Okay, sorry.
What I'll say, I will finish my statement. So he saw a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He is doing what he thinks is right for his country and also Venezuela, its country itself.
Yep.
So, personally, for me, I think what he did was reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
The action he took, yes, was not the most best thing to do.
Yep.
It could have been handled differently.
It got the problem solved.
Yes.
He, as I said, he is a guy that is waiting for forgiveness and not asking for permission.
Mm-hmm.
He is a man that says, you know what? He is a business dude.
He's enacting change today and not 4 years from now.
He's like sitting in his chair, like, we gotta do this now, or it's not gonna get done. And one of the other superpowers is gonna step in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry to say this, but I don't care who I piss off. The States is beside Canada. We need the States as much as the States need us, and that's the fucking problem with this country and fucking states and liberals.
Yep.
Oh, we can't deal with them. Like, yes, we need to deal with them. If we don't back them up, they won't back us up.
Yeah.
That's how that fucking shit works. Look at World War fucking 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was Canadians and the States finishing the fucking war.
Yeah.
It was not. Yes, Britain was there, Russia was there, but the thing is, it was Canadians and fucking States going in there and fucking shit up.
Yep. It was the right thing to do, even though it was technically wrong.
It was wrong, but right.
Tori, so what do you feel about this whole invasion? What is your opinion?
If there's still people supporting the guy that was messing with Venezuela, and if people keep
talk to this,
and if people keep saying, oh yeah, this is fine, so we're gonna keep telling you, follow this, or I'm gonna murder you or something.
Yeah.
People are gonna continue immigrating to America, and America, if it gets too full, you can go to Canada, and then we're gonna have more of an immigration problem than we already do, and then eventually it's gonna be some kind of like, oh yes, because we are safer than quite a few places.
Not anymore.
No, we are still safer. Yes.
So Walker, with you knowing more information about this whole thing, other than me and Tori over here, because he's learning from school.
Finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, finish up.
Yeah, thank you. 1 second. You got me off of track.
Okay, sorry. We're heading to that point of the whole podcast.
And if people keep coming here, it's going to become worse. Then, for example, if Venezuela's like, okay, then if this is happening and this is doing no good, they're going to start resenting the other places that are helping, and they don't see it as helping.
Yeah.
Because if they're being manipulated into going, this is okay, it's fine, because it's fine and we're still living.
Yeah, it's how they've lived for years, right?
And so then they're going to start resenting other countries and going, don't help us, we don't need your help, and then eventually war could be called.
Yep.
And then it could become a whole problem, because other places are going to be like, okay, let's try and help, and they're really going to do that on them. And people making the joke that World War III could start, and everything going on could lead to that. And if people keep trying to help in ways that, for example, aren't the greatest,
or overstepping, right?
Yeah, like if Canada keeps
Okay, so here, to summarize your point, you're a little more worried that if this precedent gets set where it's like, oh, if I invade to help here, people will start despising it because they don't want that help, then other nations will start seeing that and say, okay, no, we want to support this nation that got
because some place that will actually be able to help, and go, yeah, we can help. Like, we're offering help. We don't really need anything. We're just trying to help because we see we're in a big problem here and we want to help out. And they're going to start going, we don't need your help. Go away. Or something bad will happen to all of you guys. And if you keep bothering me, I'll bomb you.
To that point, Tori, it's kind of how a lot of wars start. It's
then,
two nations kind of they have a scuffle, and then there's allies that say, oh, you're fucking with him, no, we're going to get involved, and the allies to that other nation get involved, and then it becomes a bit more of a large-scale war. And what you're describing is very real. So Trump wants to get in, like take over the Venezuelan resources and essentially stabilize their economy, become an ally of Venezuela so nobody else steps in.
More people, more military.
Yes.
More military means, oh, wait, we don't like this person a little bit. So we can either send people or just be civil.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people are like, let's not be civil, because most of the time some people assume violence is the answer.
Yep.
But sometimes it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's an actual...
Sometimes you stab a tire when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, if you start something you can't finish, don't start it at all.
There you go.
Wait.
So...
Oh, okay. We're going to cut you off here.
Yeah. Quick little thing.
Okay,
quick.
If you start something like, I'm going to bomb you, and the person does it back, and you can't take it, don't do it at all.
Okay. You know what? That's very fair.
If you can't take it, don't dish it.
Yeah.
Basically, don't.
If you can't take it, if you
can't dish it, don't take it.
There you go.
No, if you can't take it, don't dish it. There we go.
Either way works.
So, Walker, with you knowing more stuff about this, because you kind of did it a lot today.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on what's going on?
Okay, so I'm going to try and keep them very brief. I'm very much on the same opinion as Tory. Unfortunately, this action sets a poor precedent for more conflict, more Trump wanting to just walk into other areas. This reminds me very heavily about, he talks about wanting to annex Canada, he talks about wanting to annex Greenland. It makes me think about how in Fallout, the lore, America annexes Canada. I mean, Canada becomes a territory of the States. It's looking more and more like a real possibility as our own country becomes rather unstable in economic terms. My opinion is this sets a very bad precedent, and Trump is going to kind of take a bit more of a Hitler approach where it's like, shit, I got away with it this one time. We're going to keep pushing the boundaries, see where we get. But to the same end, I think it is good that somebody stepped in and did something about Venezuela, because Venezuelans have a very rich culture, very good people. Like, I've known immigrants that have been in the country longer than myself that talk about how just awful the state of things have become in Venezuela, their own families that are suffering over in Venezuela. It's just devastating to hear it all. So I think what Trump did, stepping in, getting rid of the head of it all, and doing what he can to destroy military installments to try and give the people their power back, ultimately is very good. It's very good for Venezuela by letting the people slowly transition to something better than an economic fucking nightmare.
So,
yeah.
What I'll say is that what your point is it's a double-edged sword.
It is. It really is.
What Trump did was very wrong, just going in there, but what Trump did for going in there was very right at the same time.
He helped out a bunch of people that have been protesting for years, have been fighting it the good fight for years, and have had their human rights violated. They've had their civil rights violated. Any sort of rights you think that Trump is violating by going into this country, these people have had them stripped from them. They are living in poverty. They have no resources. Canada's suffering right now. Venezuela has had no resources for years.
So what I will say is that Venezuela. Oh my God, I said it properly.
There you go.
Oh my God, I said it. Sorry, I was just saying Venezuela has turned into a third world country.
Yes.
Canada?
It was on the precipice of becoming first world.
Yeah.
It's fallen.
It had the tip of the sword of becoming a first world country, but it got taken away.
Yep.
But to end this episode, we are going to say what Trump did was in the right mind of what any other country with a big power should have done of stepping in. And Trump just took his balls and said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to show what the states can do, and he did it.
And at the same time, yes, there's a lot of conspiracy about why he did it. I think we've covered that entirely. Trump did it because, A, lots of resources in Venezuela in order to, A, get there, help the country stabilize once again and start to industrialize like it was in the early 2000s, will help their economy, will actually create business, and I think will ultimately help the country as long as it's implemented properly.
Yes. But it could also lead to what Walker did say, to what kind of Fallout did.
Yes, it's a little more overstepping.
Because resources are actually depleting. And Venezuela has a lot of it. And since Trump did his thing, he has the first door open of, you know what? We have this. No one else does.
And I think he really wants to support industry for the country. He wants to protect himself. He wants to protect America by securing lands that have very easy missile access or military access to the Caribbean of the States. Another kind of far-fetched theory is he wants Venezuela because it's very close to the Panama Canal, which is a huge route for trading between the Atlantic and Pacific.
Ooh, that'd be a smart move. That'd be a very smart move.
Well, he's wanted to control it for a while, but essentially if he gets Venezuela, puts a bunch of boots on the ground, he has military personnel much closer to the Panama Canal if he wants to control trade in the future.
Yeah. And that would be very good for him.
Yes. As people who play Magic in Warhammer, he's in the setup phase right now. He is protecting himself and securing some mana.
So, as a fun thing right now, let's just say that in a secret room in the White House, Donald Trump is legit playing Warhammer with every other country.
Yeah, he's got planet Earth, and he's moving little tiny Warhammer figurines.
Okay, if we invade this area, we can take this. So,
my helicopters have a 12-inch movement.
Yes. So, in other words, for you podcast listeners listening to this very episode, what do you guys think is going to happen? And what do you guys think should have happened? Did he do the right thing? Did he do the wrong thing? That's the real question. We're asking what ifs. Do you think what he did was correct, rightful, and should have happened in the beginning? Or did he do the wrong thing, personal gain, or just straight up wanted to show his nuts?
Let us know at the Beer Foil Hat Podcast at basically any social media site you can find.
Yes, the links will be in the description below. So in other words, Walker, what Trump should have did, what should he have done?
Well, I think he should have just stayed frosty.
Staring down, the cat's the biggest pussy in town.